So the part 5 of the Ancient Mariner, rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, we'll be doing today. I have already covered till part 4. Watch it. It's available in my channel. So till part 4 you have read and you have seen what happened. A curse was fallen on that mariner because he did kill a friendly albatross. But in part 4 he had unknowingly, unconsciously found beauty in nature and blessed a snake. Along with this, what happened, his curse was taken away, and he got rid of the burden of that guilt, and somehow he got his pardon. So this is what we saw till part 4. So now we'll be doing the part 5. Part 5 we'll be seeing what happens. If in part 3 we saw the trauma of alienation, in part 4 we saw the God's mercy, then in part 5 you'll be seeing the level of that penance he will go through now. Because there's a way. In religion, if we are studying, then in any religion, be it Christian, be it Hindu, be it Islam, every religion says that if something wrong you did, there should be some way to get the God's grace. This is penance, we do know. So this is what we'll see in that posture along with the God's grace. Because he is now curse free. So let us study from the part 5. O slave, it is a gentle thing, beloved from pole to pole, to Mary Queen the praise be given. She seen the gentle slave from heaven, that slid into my soul. So the poet speaker says, or the mariner, basically the mariner says, "O slave, it is a gentle thing." So for days and nights, because he was cursed due to his action, which was killing that albatross, he couldn't slave, he couldn't behave like a normal human being. Although he was living, but he got death in a life, while other people present in the ship got life in death. He got death in life. So that's why he couldn't sleep. So slave, it is a gentle thing. So a person who couldn't sleep for a long time, it was a gentle thing for him that he now can sleep. Beloved from pole to pole, to Mary Queen the praise be given. She said the gentle slave from heaven. So it is thought by that mariner that that saint from heaven, that now sleep has saint from heaven, and it must be sent by the Mary Queen, and she has sent it. And this is a way the God has graced him now and has forgiven him for the crime, and the crime was that he killed a friendly mariner. So this is what we are seeing in that first stanza of part 5, that he could sleep now while he wasn't, and he is thinking that that's be sent by the Queen Mary, Virgin Mary. We do know this related to Christ and all. If you do not know, comment it, I'll be explaining. And it's thought that it's saint from heaven. So now God has started showing him mercy. So the silly buckets on the deck that has so long remained, I dreamed that they were filled with dew. When I awoke, it rained. So he can sleep now after a long time. After sleepless nights and days, he can sleep now. And when he slept this time, he saw a dream. So, and while sleeping, what dream he has seen? He has seen that those buckets which were empty earlier in the ship, that has been filled and filled with dew. Dew present in early morning. So you must have seen a few drops of water falls. This is a dew, and when I woke, it rained. And as when he was awoke from sleep, no more in the part of the dream which he was watching, he saw it was raining. So his dream got fulfilled. He saw in a dream that those buckets which were empty in the ship, that has been filled up, and when he awoke up, he saw in reality it was raining. So it has been filled up. So his dream dream got fulfilled. My lips were wet, my throat was cold. Okay, my lips were wet, my throat was cold. My garments all were dank. Sure, I had drunken in my dreams, and still my body drank. So his lips became wet, his throat became cold, which was earlier no way cold, no way wait, okay, it was no way anything earlier. Okay, earlier he was totally tortured by that sunny day and a scorching heat, which was giving a terrible time for him to survive. Okay, and now it is raining, it is giving him a moment of peace, a kind of a smoothing situation, a sweetie kind of ambience was there now. And his lips got wet, his throat was cold, my garments were were dank. Sure, I had drunken in my dreams, still my body drank. It's compared as though he is still in a kind of a situation. He is not believing that is happening, that his curse has been taken away, and he is now able to live again freely and again able to experience the beautiful moment of life, be it seeing his health again returning in the condition it was earlier. Okay, so this is what, so it's a kind of an unbelievable thing. So he is still thinking he must have been drunken in a dream. It can be compared to John Keats' Ode to a Nightingale, where Keats is hearing the song of the nightingale, and he says that song is creating a scene as though he feels he has drunk. Okay, so that sort of a situation. I moved and could not feel my limbs. I was so light, almost I thought that I had died in sleep and was blessed ghost. Okay, so he moved but he could not feel his limbs. He became so light to feel. I was so light, mean his weight felt nothing. I thought that I had died in sleep. So when he woke up, he saw so many changes. There's raining and his dream got fulfilled, and he saw what that his lips were wet, throat was cold, and along with this he saw that and felt that his weight was no more to be felt, as so he became so light. Isn't this is what he has been feeling? So light his weight has become, and he is thinking maybe he had died in sleep, and he is not a living human being, has become now some spirit or something like that, ghost. Okay, this is what he has been thinking. So and soon I heard a roaring wind. It did not come near, but with the sounds it shook the sails. They were so thin and sad. So when he was feeling his weight is no more to be felt, so light he has become, at that time there came a roaring wind. That wind gave a kind of a shape to the ship, and the ship started now moving in directions. Okay, upper air burst into life, and 100 fire flags sheen to fro. They were hurried about to fro, and in our the one stars dance between. So it's the condition how winds were moving the ship. Upper air burst into life. So when that upper air, like the wind, when it came from the totally in the upside, it burst into life. It gave a life to the ship. It moved it in a very movable way with a speed, and 100 fire flags seen. It felt like that it has been bursted with 100 fire. That much speed it has given it to and fro. They were hurried about. It went so speedily to and fro in our the one star's dance between. It felt like it moved so fast as though this was in that ship's moving position. There in between some stars were maybe dancing. So speed it got, and the coming wind did roar more loud, and the sails did sigh like sails, and the rain poured down from one black cloud. The moon was at its edge. So although the earlier wind was able to move the ship, still wind was flowing. It was roaring more loudly. Okay, and the sails were moving by it, and rain poured down. There came rain, and that poured down due to the black cloud, but still there presence of moon. Okay, although there was cloud, there was rain, but there was moon still present, which is a different situation. As now nature, which part is this moon and rain, now started blessing him again, started giving grace. Earlier this all were against of him, this all were taking revenge for the date of that albatross. Now they have forgiven him and they are showing a grace. So the thick black cloud was cleft, and still the moon was at his side. Like water stood from some high crag, the lightning fell with a never a jag. A river steep and wide. The thick black cloud was cleft. So there was clouds, black clouds were there, but still moon was there. So it's a rare situation, and it's situation to prove that now that mariner has been forgiven and he has got a God's grace, but still his penance is in his way, it hasn't been fulfilled. Like water shoot from some high crag, the lightning fell with never a jag. A river steep and wide. Okay, so like water shoot from some high crag, so the lightning fell with never a jag. A river steep and wide. It's a description of the river. Okay, so here you do understand how the river has been described. It's very beautifully it's being described. The loud wind never reached the ship, yet now the ship moved on beneath the lightning and the moon. Dead men gave a groan. So now this mariner realized that earlier the ship was moving and he was sinking due to the wind as he had described, but now he understood that this is not due to the wind. He says that the wind hasn't touched the ship, yet the ship is moving beneath the lightning and the moon. Dead men gave a groan. They groaned, they stirred, they all uprose, nor spake, nor moved their eyes. It had been strange, even in a dream, to have seen those dead men rise. Okay, so when that mariner understood that this ship is no more moving by this wind, but somehow maybe it imagined some supernatural spirit was running that ship. At that moment, what happened? Those dead men, 200 dead men who were present in the ship, they started walking up, they stood up, and they moved their eyes. It had strange, even in a dream, to have. And that mariner felt so strange, because even in a dream he could not think that this dead man can be rising. Okay, so that's being a strange to the strangest situation. He understood it. The helmsman steered, the ship moved on, yet never a breach blew. The mariners all again worked the ropes where they were going to do. They raised their limbs like lifeless tools. We were ghastly crew. Okay, so the dead person who was the helmsman, mean that someone whose duty was making the ship all the directions and running it. That helmsman took his place and started moving the ship, and other mariners who were at their duty, somewhere with ropes, somewhere with some other deck works, they all took their places. Okay, although they were dead, okay, they had no emotions you could see in their faces, or nothing like a lively creature, but they started working their work as though they were now became a machine with the purpose to move the ship, but without any emotions or anything. Okay, so like this word we do understand it like the lifeless tools. Okay, they didn't have life. Ghastly crew. Okay, this too also proof. And the ship started moving on. The body of my brother's son stood by me, knee to knee. The body and I pulled at one rope, but he said, "Now to me." Okay, so not only all the crew people became alive to shock that mariner, but his brother's son too came out from that hill and got back his life, and he stood knee to knee, stood in front of him. The body I pulled at one rope, but he said, "Now to me." Okay, "I fear thee," answered Miriam. "Be calm, the wedding guest." So after hearing this, you understood that this is very horrible to be listened. So understand the wedding guest situation who was listening till now. Okay, so the wedding guest listening till now, that somehow Mariner got free from his curse, and it was even not enough. The ship was moved by supernatural way without even any wind, and what more that these dead people came back from dead, although they were lifeless and behaving like a lifeless tool, and started moving the ship. So after hearing that much, that Mariner got scared. Think of yourself if you go somewhere in the road at night and you meet with someone like this Mariner, and the same person starts telling the same story, and that person to look like Mariner, thin and so different and kind. So then won't you be scared? You will definitely think that we too met with a supernatural being. No, you'll think, no, you'll come and you'll say that I saw a witch, or you may shout and you may run away. Okay, so that Mariner says that I fear the unsigned Mariner, become the wedding guest. So that that wedding guest cried out that I am so scared, I am scared of you. But wedding guest said, be calm. Okay, it was not those souls that fled in pain which to their curses come again, but the troop of spirits blessed. So Meera understood that why that man scared. That man got scared because he thought that how this dead people can come back to life. So the Marina said that it's not this dead people who came back to life. Do not think it. Okay, it's the other spirit, Holy Spirit, who took control of the dead bodies and helping me now because I have been forgiven. Okay, this is what happens. This is not those dead bodies. It's the Holy Spirit took control of the dead bodies, now helping. Okay, so that we understood this one from that thing, that spirits blessed. Okay, a troop of spirits blessed. Okay, this thing is that one. Okay. For when it dawned, they dropped their arms and clasped around the mast. Sweet sounds are slowly through their mouths and from their bodies passed. Okay. So when it dawned, they dropped. So when morning came, okay, dawn means a very early morning. You do understand when dawn came. All the dead people drop their arms like that way, like we do know earning and all. So and clustered around the mast, and sweet sounds rose slowly through their mouth. Their bodies, like morning happened, they started behaving like as though nothing happened. Okay, like they hadn't experienced such a bad disaster, like shipwrecked and all. Nothing happened, as though this is a beautiful morning and you are enjoying it. Okay, sweet sounds rose slowly through their mouth, from their bodies passed. Okay, around flew each sweet sound, then darted to the sun. Slowly the sounds came back again, now mixed, now one by one. Okay. So like it felt like the sound which was coming from that ship people's mouth, that too went back to the sun, and from sun that too came back. Okay, earlier we used to see like in a mountain or that places, if you go and shout, that voice comes back. Here it is different, that in that morning this people in the ship started shouting, and that shout, like not shouting, okay, like they started creating a sweet sounds, and that sweet sounds went back to the sun, and from sun that darted back. Okay, came back, and now mixed now by one, and that got mixed up. Okay, sometimes dropping from the sky, I heard the skylark sing. Sometimes all little birds they are, how they seem to fill the sky and air with their sweet jargon. That was even not enough that he could hear that all the people present in the ship was singing, and from sun that voice was coming back, but now he can hear skylark singing, and all little birds, all other little birds too were singing. So a beautiful situation has been created, a beautiful scenario, such a lovely morning scenario has been created, which was earlier not present. Okay, earlier such positive ambience you had never seen. So that's what Coleridge is trying to show, that that's what happens when you have been blessed with a God and got the grace which you were lacking. So earlier everything was a rotten like that. when now it has started getting prosperity like a flower blossoms, so at the same way it became okay. And now it was like all instruments, now like a lonely flute. Now it is an angel song makes the heaven be mute. It felt like maybe all the music instruments were being played on. He felt like maybe it's like lonely flute, you do know. So very beautiful sound it comes. So now it is an angel song. He thought maybe it's like an angel who is singing. So it makes the heaven mute because such a sound it created. It ceased, yet still the cells made on a pleasant noise still known, a noise like a hidden brook in the leafy month of June, that to the sleeping woods all night stained the quiet tone. Okay, so although the music stopped, but still the cells went on, the ship moved on. A pleasant noise still known, it became noon, but still there was a pleasant noise, but it wasn't musing anymore. The noise like a hidden brook. So this time this noise which we can hear at the time of noon is which noise? It's the noise of the brook. Brook means small river. Okay, so it's a music from there. When water goes on, a very beautiful sound comes on. Okay, if you have watched some instrument even being made out of this sound, okay, like this is what, so very beautiful kind of a sound comes on when water goes in a river. Okay, hidden brook in the leafy month of June. So the month is now June. Earlier we saw the month was April. Okay, so that to the sleeping woods all night stayed the quiet tune. Okay, so the woods were as feeling like sleeping. It has comparison being made. The brook or the river sound which they can hear, it has been compared with the sound which is being heard in a sleeping woods in a forest area. Okay, forest area too such sounds being come up. Okay, signeth a quiet tone. Okay, till noon we quietly sailed on, yet never a breeze did breathe. Slowly and smoothly when the ship moved on earth from beneath. Okay, so till noon we quietly sailed on, no problem was there, nothing was stopping us, yet never a breeze did breathe. Slowly and smoothly when the ship, so it moved on smoothly. Under the keel 9 fathom deep, from the land of mist and snow, the spirit fled, and it was he that made the ship to go. The sails at noon left of their tune, and the ship stood. So now the mariner understood why the ship was moving so smoothly, although there wasn't the wind which was moving. It was who was moving under the Nile 9 fathom deep, the land of mist was the spirit. So it was moved by a spirit. So that spirit present is keel 9 fathom deep is almost 1 fathom is almost equal to 6 feet. So 9 fathom do try to understand 54 foot it may be. So such down there's presence of this spirit who was helping them to run the ship. Why it is, we'll see. The sun right up above the mast had fixed her to the ocean, but in a minute she gazed there with a short uneasy motion backwards and forwards, half a length with a short uneasy motion. Okay, so sun was right up above the must imprisoned in a ship. You must have seen, no? It's something like a flag kind of a, so above the mast, so had fixed her to the ocean, but in a minute she gazed it with a short uneasy motion. Okay, so backwards and forwards half a length with a short uneasy. So you do know this must help ship in moving by using the wind. This is what. Then like a pawning horse let go, she made a sudden bound. It flung the blood into my head. I fell down in a sound. Okay, so now suddenly the ship, like just like a car, when you take a brake, if the brake is so much tight, then what happens, you jerk upward. Okay, you fell upward, this way you fell down. The same way the ship like got upward and stopped this way. It compared with a horse, even same thing happens with a horse. When you ride horse and horse suddenly stops, okay, so then there's chances that you fell down. Okay, so the same thing happens when the ship stopped, suddenly he fell down. Okay, so and he fell down in a sound here is like he got like he lost his senses. Okay, became senseless. Okay, so how long in the same feet I lay, I have not to declare, but ere my living life return, I had in my soul soul discern two voices in the air. So he does not understand, he does not know how long he was conscienceless, he do not have idea, but when he got back his senses, he somehow understood that while conscienceless were senseless, he had two soul voices, okay, speaking, conversing. What this voice are? Is it he? Quote one. So one voice among these two voices was saying, what is it he? So is it he mean they were pointing towards that mariner and saying that is it he? Is this the man? Is that the man by who died on cross? With his cruel bow he let fall low the harmless Albatross. So one boy said that is that the person? I mean the mariner is the person who cruelly killed that albatross, who was harmless. The spirit who breathed by himself in the land of mist and snow. He loved the bird that loved the man who shoot him with his bow. And that same first spirit said, first spirit or the first voice whom he had heard, he said that then he, along with this killing of albatross, he bought crabs. How? Because they are a prison of a spirit in that ocean. Okay, it's not a sea basically, it's the ocean. In that ocean there is a spirit prison, and the spirit loves the albatross because this is the albatross who bought land of mist and snow, and and the spirit is quite got angry and somehow ready to punish that mariner because he loved that bird. And why it is that bird bought land of mist and snow? Along with that bird loved the man, because that bird loved mariner too. Is nowhere presence that the bird did something to provoke that mariner to kill her. Okay, it didn't do anything like that. It was playfully entertaining them, playfully taking food from them, playfully surrounding them. So this is why the other was a softer voice, as soft as a honeydew. So the other voice, he had two voices. Okay. So I had in my soul discern two voices in the air. Okay, so he had two voices. Another voice was a softer voice, soft as honeydew. Honeydew, why is being like use the metaphor of honeydew? Because why it is because very simple reason. Okay, so when kindness comes, grace comes, it's very softly it does come. Okay, so like the softest boy, it says that the man hath penance done. Okay, and penance more will do. Like this man has suffered a lot to free himself. One was by blessing the snake, but more penance still have to do, this voice has declared. Okay, so this is that part 5. I hope you understood a little bit. I may sum up that part 5 we saw that mariner understood now his curse has been taken away. That's how he could sleep, he could see dream which got fulfilled. He, after waking up, saw the scorching heat has taken away. He could he could be taking free up and could feel blessed in that rain. And what other he saw, his ship started moving, dead people body was taken control by Holy Spirit who was helping, and another spirit was just 54 feet under to the ocean, which was helping the ship to move because it was moved by any wind. Okay, and along with this the song that that boys which were mariner heard, that this all the people present in the ship started early in the morning creating sound which went back to the sun, and sun gave the sound back, and that got mixed up. He felt he could be hearing skylark music too, and all the small birds too started singing. And although at noon that music stopped, but still continued the music of the brook. Okay, which felt like music from forest trees. Okay, so this is what. And then he felt forward due to the ship which got stopped, and due to this he lost his senses. And when he got back his senses, he understood that he in his conscienceless situation had two spirits speaking. One said that one spirit said what? One spirit said that this is the man who killed the albatross who was helping that man, and that same spirit said that this albatross was very favorite to the spirit of this ocean, and this is the albatross who loved the man, okay, and that albatross bought mist and snow, okay. And another softer kind of a voice, one spirit said with kindness that his penance has done all the more yet to be done to get the God's grace, to get the salvation from Christ, okay. This is the significance of the part 5. I hope you all understand, and along with this part 5 ends soon. We'll be back with part 6, and for the time being, subscribe the channel. If you subscribe the channel, what will happen? You'll be getting access to my all the videos. Some videos are definitely confidential for my students, okay, like these are only accessible to my students, okay. So if you want to get free access to all the resources present here in this channel, to subscribe the channel, and do not forget to share it and press the like icon too, and hype options are available too. This is a very new channel, it's a 2 months old, but I want to move it, put it forward the long I can be able to, okay. I'll be continuing this one, and if you have anything doubt or anything, you can write in the comment section. I can assure you I'll absolutely give you answer, okay. And my paid courses too available, which are for UG English literature. You may like it, and the price is very low, all said it, and I made it economically helpful for everybody, okay. So if you like it, you can be part of it. If you have doubt, you may contact with me over WhatsApp, it doesn't matter. You can ask me regarding classes. You would be getting free lectures, demo lectures too, and then you'll decide that will you be part of it or not, okay. So there's nothing to be like the thinking that will I message her or ask her. You can ask regarding class. That's the first step to move anywhere, to ask, okay. Question you have to ask that can we join, and what are the speciality of your classes, and why would we join. You can ask these things if you have doubts before joining, okay. You'll be asking, then I will give you the assurances, and if you like, then you'll be joining to my classes, okay. And after our classes, which will be starting very soon, okay, like so many batches have started filling up already, okay. So try to do soon. And another thing I was thinking of telling that part 6 I'll be uploading soon, but for the time being you'll try to find that why that bird symbol is being so much used in romantic literature, okay. This is a question for you. Any of you can give answer, okay, like why that bird symbol is being used so much by romantic poets, be it Coleridge, be it Keats, okay. Try to find the answer. So for the time being, that much only. We'll soon be back with a new video and with a new thought to regenerate our students, okay. So thank you for watching.